Hello, I'm Michael Finn, holistic exercise and lifestyle coach, and today I'm going to talk about wrists and hands and lower arms and a little bit of upper arms and all that kind of good stuff. So if you have pain or tightness, or your wrists are inflexible, or you spend a lot of time on the computer or on your phone and things like that, and you're just losing the strength and the range of motion and the good functioning of your hands and your wrists, then this is the things that you're going to want to follow. So, and if you have additional questions or have other problems, or you want someone to help to kind of put together a whole little plan for you and what to do, well, reach out to me and we'll work together to create a little plan on what you can do. So, first, range of motion and flexibility. So it's what we always, no matter what joint we're working on trying to improve, we need to create mobility and better function at that joint first and foremost before anything else. So we want to stretch the wrists, and most people have tight wrist flexors here on the front, just below the palm of the hand. Most people are kind of tight there from being on computers and simply just not ever really pressing that range of motion. So one way that we can fix that, I'm going to kind of show you a couple of different ways that we can do this. So if you have like a table, I just got a bench here in front of me, and so I'm going to bend forward at the waist, and I'm going to put my hands flat on that bench with my fingers pointing forward away from me, and my arms are pretty straight down from my shoulders, so that way I got a little bit of a stretch in my wrists already. And then what I can do is I can shift my weight forward and go farther over the bench or the table, so that I create more of a stretch in my actual wrists on the front side. So I'll rock backwards and take the pressure off, and then I'll rock forward and get a good stretch into the wrist, and then I'll rock backward, and then I will rock forward, so that I get a little bit of motion in through the wrists, going forward and backward. So, and then after doing it that way, I will turn my hands to the outside, so my fingers are now pointing opposite directions from each other. And then I will rock over to the right and stretch that way. And then I will rock over to the left and stretch that way. And then back over to the right. And then back over to the left, just nice and slow, sometimes holding out there for 3 to 5 seconds, something along those lines, where you get a good little stretch that way, going from right to left, from right to left. Nice and slow and easy, just kind of working into that stretch. And then I'll even move a little bit closer, and now I'll do the really challenging one where I turn my fingers to where my fingers are pointing at me, so that my wrists are pointing forward, and my elbows are turned all the way around where my elbows are pointing me, and the front part is pointing forward. And now I'm going to rock backwards towards me and get a big stretch through the front side. And just get a little stretch. You don't have to kill yourself. It's all a matter of creating more flexibility every day. So, and just holding in that position and just kind of rocking back there, rocking forward, rocking backward. Nice and simple and easy. And all this flexibility stuff, I recommend that you do every single day. 5 days a week is enough, but I always say every day, because if you try to do it every day, it gives you 2 days to where if you miss it for some particular reason, it's okay. So you can also do all of those same things against a wall. Like over here on the wall, you can do the same thing. You can put your hands really low, and you can go up on your toes and stretch your wrists that way. You can go side to side. You can do your fingers down, so you can do it on a wall. You can also do it down on the ground, on your hands and knees. Same sort of thing, putting your hands on the floor and rocking forward and rocking backwards with your fingers pointed forward, with your fingers out to the outside, rocking one way, rocking the other way, going right to left to stretch them out that way, turning your fingers around the other way, rocking backwards, rocking forward to where you stretch out those wrists that way. Okay, so that's going to stretch out this front side. Now, you can turn it around, and you can put the back sides of your hands down, it's very rare that I find people that are tight in this area. So it doesn't happen very often to where they got the back sides of their hand down on the table and then rocking backwards and forwards and that sort of thing. Most people can flex their wrist down without a problem. It's bending it backwards which is more difficult, and what you want to be able to do is you want to be pretty close to 90 degrees when you're pulling your hand backwards like this. And I'm pretty close to 90 degrees on both sides for the most part, but that's what we want to focus on is this, can we get pretty close to 90 degrees without a problem, and can we straighten all of our fingers out so that we get all of that. All right, so that's one thing that should be done pretty much every day. Then another great thing for developing strength and a little bit of flexibility at the same time is just taking a towel. It can be any kind of towel. It could be as small as a washcloth. It could be big as a big bath towel, whatever you want, and you can change it up depending. And when we do this, what we want to do is we basically want to pretend like we're wringing the towel out. So my normal way of wringing something out would be having both hands over the top of the towel, my left hand turning towards me so that I'm pulling my left knuckles towards me, and my right hand turning away from me so I'm turning my knuckles down, so just like that. That would be my normal way of wringing something out, and so I'm really good and I'm really strong in that position because that's the way I wring things out. So, but we want to do it in different ways as well. So, you want to have your arms out straight out in front of you and the towel parallel with the floor so that it's in a horizontal position. But then you also want to do it at angles. So you want to go perpendicular to the floor so that it's straight up and down and vertical. You can go at diagonals and go at diagonal patterns so that you're going in a diagonal pattern, but you want those arms out straight because it's going to work different fascial lines in through your forearms and in your hands and in your fingers and in your wrists, and it's going to change all of that. And then on top of that, you want to go in different directions. So I did it that way first. So I'm going to still go hands over the top of the towel, but now I'm going to go turning my right hand away from me, taking my left hand away from me, taking my left knuckles down and pulling my right knuckles towards me. So you want to do opposite directions that way. Get a little better grip here. So as you're doing that, you can also do this up over the head so that you'll get different fascial lines in through that way, doing it up over the head. Okay, this is where also, using a big towel is going to get some things, getting a small towel is going to do, other little muscles, and go as many angles as you can. You can do it out to the sides a little bit so that you go different ways that way, and that way you'll get, different angles there. And then you want to do opposite ways. So if I go with my right hand underneath the towel and my left hand over the top of the towel, and now I can turn my left hand away from me, taking my knuckles forward and down, and my right hand towards me, bringing my knuckles up and towards me and twisting that way. And now I'm going to get different muscles working on the underside. Okay, and then I can flip around and I can do the other way to where my left hand is underneath and my right hand's over the top, and I'm turning the other direction around. I need to get that a little tighter so that I can actually get some tension in there and pull it that way. And then once again, different angles, and I can already tell that my left hand is very weak in this position. I need to be working on this. So, all right, so as many different angles as you possibly can so that you try to work things. And I'm going to add something to my routine, I can tell right now, because my left hand does not like doing this. It is not comfortable there. And then you can also do both hands underneath and trying to do it that way and going in opposite directions while you are going. Which way am I going? That way. I'm going this way, so I'm pulling my left knuckles away from me and I'm pulling my right knuckles towards me. So all these different things to work all these different fascial lines all through our forearms through grip. Okay, so that's one really great way to do it, and work it with a towel. Other great things that you can do with a towel is, as I run over here really fast, if you have like a cable pulley machine You can put the towel through the handle of a cable pulley machine just like that. And then you can grab on and you can hang on to the towel and you can do your exercises hanging on to a towel or some other object as opposed to the actual handle, and work your grip differently so that your grip has to work a little bit more and or in different ways, or you can even pull it in a little bit different way to actually work all of the different muscles in your forearms, okay, so that you can do that. You can also do things like taking a dumbbell and wrapping the handle of a dumbbell with a towel and then doing your exercises like that with the towel wrapped around the dumbbell to once again change the thickness and the way that it's gripped. You can even do it, I'll do this with the pull-up bar once in a while. I will wrap a big towel around the pull-up bar to really change the grip on the pull-up bar, and it makes me have to really work really hard to do my pull-ups. And so whenever I'm kind of like in a little plateau and I can't like increase my pull-up numbers, I'll do that, and I'll hardly be able to do any pull-ups at all, but it builds up so much neurological strength in my body that it will boost me through that plateau of just doing that a couple of times. All right, so that's stuff with a towel. Those kind of things can be done, well, like all the wringing out stuff is great to do just like for a couple of minutes, like once again about 5 days a week is really good. And then mixing the towel in with your workouts can be great once in a while to stimulate improvement if you're kind of like, not really seeming like you're improving, okay? And then other things we can do is you can take a stick, or like a dowel rod. So I've got a big dowel rod here that's, it's about as tall as me, so it's about 6 feet long. Kind of like a broomstick. It is even nice if you even have the broom out there on the end for a little bit of weight. And so I'm not holding in the middle. So I've got the left side of the stick and my right hand is longer than the right side so that it's heavy down that point. I've got my arm out straight and straight out in front of me. And I'm just going to rotate my hand all the way around and my arm all the way around one way so that the stick's pointing one direction and then all the way around to the other, so that the long end is right now at about 6 o'clock, if 12 o'clock's at the top, 6 o'clock's at the bottom. And then I'm going to rotate it all the way around. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can only get to about 4. Okay? And then I'm going to pull it all the way back around the other way, nice and slow. So some people will even attach a small little weight out there on the end to make it even heavier. Like, we're talking half a pound or a pound. I've seen people doing this out to the side and putting a shoe on the end and just lifting that shoe all the way up and lowering it back down. But you can go that direction, and then you can move it the other way to make the long end coming out the right side of your right hand. And you can go all the way up that way and all the way around the other way. So once again, you're going to work all sorts of little things around the forearm, around the elbow joint, and even up around the rotator cuff and in the shoulder area. So those are always good things. And then of course you're going to do the other hand as well, okay? And same sort of thing, straight out in front of you, a little higher than straight out in front of you, directly over the head can do all sorts of things, just don't hit yourself in the head. Straight out to your side is really good, so that it's there, a little bit kind of in between the two, so not straight out to your side, but not right out in front of you either, so that you work all these different angles. A little bit back around. So what you can do is one day you can do it one way, and the next day you can do it in a different position, and the next day you can do it in a different position, and pick different places so that you kind of change it up and have fun with it. But rotating all of that to work all of those little muscles is really great for keeping everything really strong and develop everything to where it will function really great. All right, and then last thing that I found that is also really good for people is grab some weights real fast. Just a real basic, simple curl and press. Standing up really tall, holding the weights to where your palms are facing forward, and then you're just going to curl all the way up from there so that now the weights are right in front of your shoulder, and then nice big inhale as you press them all the way over your head, and you're going to rotate those weights to where your palms are facing forward when you get up to the top. And then exhaling as you bring them back down, unrotating some of your palms are facing your shoulder, and then inhaling as you lower back down to your sides, and now your palms are facing forward again. I'll show you from the side as well. So my palms are facing forward down there at my sides. I'm going to exhale and curl all the way up to where my palms are facing my shoulders. I'm going to inhale, press over my head, and that last little quarter I rotate around so my palms are facing forward. Then I'm going to inhale as I come back down. Exhale as I come back down, and then I'm going to inhale as I go back down to straight. Okay, so big exhale out, curl, big inhale, press over the head. Big exhale as I lower back down. Big inhale as I uncurl. Just like that. Smooth and steady, nice and easy. You can do alternating one side, the other side, but it's going to develop a lot of things. And so it's almost like thinking about holding a box. So if I was holding a box just a little bit in front of me and I wanted to bring that box up to my chest level, I would curl it up. And then if I was going to put it up on a shelf, I would start to press it up, and then I would turn my hands around and I'd put it up on a shelf and I'd set it up there. And so that's kind of how I try to get people to think about it, of curling and pressing a box up over their head and then putting it on the shelf. And that way we're developing the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the shoulders, everything. All right? So, and a lot of times I will mix this stuff in my workout. So I might do a set of lunges, and then I might, as my rest, I will grab the stick and I will do some rotating the stick with my forearm. So my rest periods will be doing these little exercises that don't take a lot of energy, but still need to be done to condition the little muscles and your connective tissue and your tendons and ligaments and that sort of thing. So if you want help, once again, reach out, let me know. You can always email me at michael@finfit.com, and make sure to subscribe, ring the little bell, put your comments down below if you like, and really work on trying to improve your hand and wrist strength. I'll actually throw in one other quick thing real fast. If you're still here, if you have a hard time like opening up little bottles or something like that, I'm just going to use this dumbbell as an example, but if you got like a water bottle and you find that your fingers are getting weak, just grabbing onto the cap of that water bottle and just squeezing as hard as you can for 10 seconds with your fingers will develop strength, and in the course of a couple of days you'll find that it is much easier to open up the caps on water bottles. So I've used that with a lot of my older clients that are starting to lose finger strength. Okay, so I'll make a whole other video on finger strength for like rock climbing and stuff like that, so you can look for that as well. So hope you all have a happy and healthy day, and I will see you all in the next video.